Welcome to Grade 1 French Immersion Orientation. Please note that throughout this presentation, the term parent is included. We recognize the diversity of families and intend this to be a term that includes all who support our children, including grandparents, guardians, and caregivers. Knowing your child is an important step as they enter their first year in French Immersion. French Immersion educators get to know your child as language learners who are actively listening, speaking, reading, and writing. In the early months of the program, listening and speaking skills will be developed as your child spends their day learning new words, phrases, and cues to understand French language. Knowing your child as a learner of English will help educators in identifying their strengths and as they learn to develop literacy skills in both English and French. From the first day of the French Immersion classroom, educators will be observing information as your child listens to the French language being introduced and as they continue to develop their understanding and mastery of the English language. Educators may also analyze kindergarten data and skills, or communicate directly with you in order to gain a clear understanding of your child's strengths, needs, and interests as a literacy and language learner. The program recognizes that each child is unique, and we honor the entry points and development of all students regardless of needs within the program. It should be noted that the language of French is not intended to replace a first language, but rather the French Immersion program is intended to support literacy skills in all the languages that a child may speak. Specifically, the goal is to develop students' proficiency in French while building mastery of English. The Ministry of Education Ontario requires a minimum of 3,500 hours of French instruction per year within a French Immersion program. Schools across HWDSB offer more than this minimum requirement in order to support the development of student proficiency. The percentage of French instruction in Grade 1 ranges between 65 to 85% across all schools. No matter which school your child will be attending, their day will include French, mathematics, science, and social studies as subjects taught in French. A 50-minute core English block is also provided each day. Other subjects to be taught in French may include visual arts, drama, music, and physical education. These often depend on the educator expertise within the school. A typical day in French Immersion looks very similar to a day in an English classroom. Your child will receive instruction of all subjects, where most subjects will be delivered in French. The day might include lots of oral interaction and word work, calendar routines, and morning song routines. The day may also include time in the library, on the playground, or moving about within a classroom. Maximizing opportunities to play with words through song, plays, and poems is one of the best ways to develop speaking skills of new language learners. Each French Immersion school has their own timetable for breaks, recess, and lunch hours. These are often common times where your child is able to interact with students in other grades and programs that exist within the school. Educators understand that parents and caregivers play an important role in a child's success in school. Children in the French Immersion program benefit from the learning, discussions, and activities that occur at home. These opportunities support the continued development of their literacy skills at home. French Immersion educators will work with you to learn about your child as they use the Ontario curriculum to support your child's learning at school. The French Immersion program follows the same curriculum as all other English programs within Ontario. Also, educators work with learning resource teachers, speech pathologists, reading specialists, principals, education assistants, and more in order to support the success of your child within the program. It can often feel daunting when trying to support a new language at home, especially if French is not a language that you, as the parent and caregiver, are familiar with. The French Immersion program is intended for students whose families do not speak French. Communication between educators and families is always in English, along with the information communicated within student progress reports and report cards. We understand that parents play a pivotal role in the success of your child at school. You can offer support to your child by instilling in them a deep love of literacy. Literacy includes not only reading, but also conversation and writing. Encourage your child to tell you about their day, to talk to you about what they learned, to write about it, and to even talk to you about a French story they may have read. All of this can be done in English. These activities are invaluable to supporting the development of literacy skills in both English and in French. There are also numerous online platforms that are intended to support French immersion students at home. These can be found on the HWDSB FSL homepage under the tab At Home Learning. Among the platforms listed, Voila Learning is a free virtual platform which connects HWDSB French students to a live educator, allowing them to practice oral conversation and French reading skills. Any of the platforms listed here can support your child at home and are free to access. The key to at-home support is to develop your child's love of speaking and reading in any language. Many parents wonder how to support their child during the summer to prepare for their French immersion experience. The entry into French immersion will be a unique experience as your child will hear French all throughout the day. Preparing your child to pay attention to visual cues such as pictures and gestures will help them to look for understanding beyond words. Playing games such as charades and Pictionary will help them to focus on actions and visuals to understand. Introducing them to word games such as Boggle, Bananagram, and Scrabble, where they can build and break apart words, letters, and sounds, support the transferring of their skills from English to French. There are also many online children's French songs and videos that can be used to begin to expose your child to this new learning. Remember that encouraging your child to talk about what they see and to develop a love of reading is one of the greatest skills for them to practice throughout the summer. The first year of French immersion will be an exciting time for your child. We look forward to meeting your child and supporting them as language learners. If you have any school-specific questions regarding bell times, nutrition breaks, and subjects taught in French, please feel free to reach out directly to your child's school. Nous avons hâte de vous rencontrer. We can't wait to meet you.